Ever notice how easy it is to spot flawed thinking in other people? You can hear a politician talk for 30 seconds and think, wow, biased. You scroll past a comment online and instantly clock the logical fallacy. You watch a friend make a decision and think, clearly projecting, obviously emotional, zero self awareness. And yet, when it comes to your thinking, silence, clarity, objectivity, obviously, because you're just seeing things as they are. And that confidence, that feeling that everyone else is biased but you're not, isn't wisdom. It's the bias blind spot. Imagine you had a superpower. You could instantly detect irrational thinking. You could see hidden motives, emotional reasoning, distorted logic in other people. Sounds amazing, right? Now imagine the catch. That superpower works everywhere except when you turn it inward. That's the cognitive blind spot. Our brain's strange talent for diagnosing everyone else while giving itself a permanent hall pass. And the unsettling part, the smarter you are, the worse this blind spot often gets. Think about how often you notice hypocrisy out there, in politics, on social media, in family arguments. You see patterns, you connect dots, you feel certain, and when someone gently suggests you might be biased, something tightens. You don't feel curious. You feel misunderstood, attacked, annoyed. Your brain doesn't say, interesting, let's investigate that. It says, nope, that doesn't apply to me. And that reaction isn't accidental. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain cares more about protecting your identity than discovering truth. Being wrong doesn't just feel inconvenient, it feels threatening. So your mind does what it does best. It rationalizes, reframes, and defends. Not because you're dishonest, but because self-consistency feels like safety. This is why pointing out someone's bias almost always backfires. The moment you challenge their self-image, their brain shifts from thinking to defending. And yes, this includes you, especially you. What's wild is that we can actually see this blind spot in the brain. When you evaluate someone else's reasoning, areas involved in critical thinking light up. The prefrontal cortex goes to work. But when you evaluate your own thinking, those same regions are noticeably quieter. It's like your brain says, no need to double check. We trust this source. This isn't a character flaw, it's a design feature. Human cognition evolved for speed, cohesion, and social belonging, not perfect objectivity. Truth came second. This explains something deeply unsettling. Intelligence does not protect you from bias. In fact, it often gives you better tools to justify it. Smart people don't have fewer blind spots. They have more sophisticated explanations for why they're right. Which is why brilliant minds can cling to flawed beliefs, why debates go nowhere, and why entire groups can become absolutely convinced they're the rational ones in the room. Everyone thinks they're the exception. That's the blind spot talking. Zoom out for a moment. This blind spot shapes bad relationships, polarized politics, echo chambers, career mistakes, scientific stagnation, and deeply personal regrets. Because if you can't see your own bias, you can't correct it. And if everyone believes they're objective, no one actually is. Here's the good news. You can't eliminate the bias blind spot, but you can work around it. One of the most powerful tricks, externalize yourself. Ask, if a close friend were in this exact situation, what would I tell them? Suddenly clarity appears, because your brain is fantastic at seeing bias as long as it thinks it's looking at someone else. Another move? Actively seek disagreement from people you respect, not people you want to impress. And maybe the most important skill of all, intellectual humility. The quiet recognition that feeling certain doesn't mean being correct. Growth doesn't start when you prove others wrong. It starts when you get suspicious of how right you feel. Because the moment you assume you're unbiased, you've already disappeared into the blind spot. And the real irony? The people most confident in their objectivity are usually the least aware of what's shaping their thinking. So the next time you catch yourself thinking everyone else is biased, pause, smile, and remember that thought might be the clearest sign of bias you'll ever miss. Let me know what moment in this video made you uncomfortable. It's kind of the whole point. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed our time together. And until next time, my little cherubs, Mima's always rooting for you.